Whew. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, my name is Griselda. Today's video is going to be a little bit different because I am going to talk to you guys about why I have been MIA on YouTube. I feel like uploading on YouTube has been a huge struggle for me since my YouTube career. I haven't been as consistent as I would like to be, and I am going to share with you guys the reason why. This is so new to me, but I'm in such a different place in my life where I am able to even sit in front of the camera and share these things with you guys, because so much has changed in my life that I'm in a good place with myself. I have learned to accept a lot of things that have happened that really have held me back from growing. So in this video, I am going to show you guys how to create this look. Not in detail. I feel like I just needed to do something that was bright and colorful and just something that made me happy. This look makes me feel beautiful. It's bright, it's bold, and I feel like it represents a lot. This look was inspired by a makeup artist that I actually follow. Her name is, I think her name is Brana Luna B. So this is the look that I am going to be creating, and I got so inspired that I just wanted to create something that was inspiring, because I hope that this video turns out to be inspiring for a lot of you guys, whether it's only one person or 20 people. I'm able to just be open and feel free to just talk about what has been going on in my life aside from this pandemic, because God knows this whole coronavirus has installed so much fear in so many of us. It's definitely changed the whole entire world. I feel like I personally needed not something like this to happen, but something that was going to slow down my life so I can fully understand everything that has happened, because I lived such a fast-paced life that I had no time, and now I have nothing but time. So with that being said, grab your makeup if you want to get ready with me. If you just want to sit there and watch, grab your popcorn, grab a snack, grab whatever you want, and let's get started. The struggle to film this video has been so real, but that's okay. We're here. I just washed my face, and we're going to be trying out the Chin Lift Sculpting Sheet Mask from Wishful. And it says on here to start with a clean, dry face. Remove the plastic film from mask. To avoid discomfort during use, please stretch the mask lengthwise by tugging at each end. Starting at chin and pulling upwards, secure mask around the ears and leave on for 20 to 30 minutes. Because I can't put any moisturizer on, I'm going to be using my Covergirl Prep and Set Water Mist. This is just going to hydrate my skin, and then we're just gonna let it dry. And I want to give a little disclaimer, because I'm going to be doing a lot of talking in this video. I'm not gonna go in depth of what I'm doing and what I'm using. I'm just going to talk through this video. I am going to put everything in the description box below so you guys can know exactly what I use. I just wanted to let you guys know before I started anything. We're gonna use this Chin Lift by Wishful. So this is what it looks like. How is this gonna stick? It's peeling this off. How is that? Wait, I think I should take off my earrings first. So let's go ahead and start peeling this off. Ooh. Okay, let's go ahead and tug this way. Hopefully I don't rip this. Ooh, it definitely tightens. Just make sure it's stretched out. This is so interesting to me to have this on. Okay, what time is it? It is 3:03. I'll leave it on for 20 minutes and see what it does. So a lot of you guys have DM'd me on Instagram asking me where I have been on YouTube, and honestly, I've been MIA because I feel like I have been dealing with so much in my personal life that it has been really hard for me to sit here and film and talk to you guys about makeup when I'm not 100% okay. It's been really, really rough for me to just open up about what has really been going on in my life and dealing with the pandemic and being a single mom, making sure that Anthony's okay mentally, physically, and emotionally during these times. My main focus was my family and myself, because never in a million years did we think that we were going to be going through something like this on top of what we already have going on in our lives. One of the things that I've always really struggled with was when I go through something, I don't like to deal with it. And because I was living such a fast-paced life, I always brushed everything underneath the rug. I never really took a step back and realized that I wasn't taking care of myself emotionally, physically, and mentally, and I would let it pile up until I would have a breakdown. I never took the time to heal from whatever I was going through. When we were all ordered to be quarantined, it didn't affect me in a way that you would think. It honestly affected me in a positive way, because it allowed me to slow down my life and really take everything in that was happening. Me not being able to film for YouTube was something that I didn't know where it was coming from, because I'm like, okay, now that we are quarantined, I'm gonna have all the time in the world to like film, and which I did. I filmed for Instagram. I focused a lot of my creativity in filming for IGTV on Instagram, and that was a huge outlet for me, because I was still doing what I loved. I was being creative and I was like so happy with it, but I didn't realize that I was neglecting the other platform that brought me so much happiness. I love to teach. I love to, you know, share my tips and tricks with you guys. I wasn't okay to like sit down and talk to you guys about, hey, let's do a smoky eye, let's do a colorful eye. I wasn't in that headspace to do any of those things. So it was really hard for me to sit down and pretend like I was okay when I wasn't. That was like the hardest part for me. So when I would film for Instagram, I felt like I was still doing something because I was still creating content, but I didn't have to speak and I didn't have to pretend like I was okay with my words. I just had to pretend like I was okay physically. I look normal. I look fine. I look like nothing has affected me, and deep down inside, everything was affecting me. Having to be a single parent, having to deal with the heartbreak, having to deal with being a teacher at home, making sure that my family was okay. Like, I was dealing with all of those things and never really sat down and checked on myself. I never did that. I never took care of myself the way that I was supposed to, because I didn't have the time to do it. When you're a parent, I feel like you have to leave yourself last. But during this time, I have come to realize that I have to put myself first. I had so much built up emotion, anxiety. I couldn't pinpoint where it was coming from. It was one of those things where I was just like, why am I feeling like this? I don't have any energy. I am tired. My back hurts. My head hurts. I started getting really bad tension headaches. And it all stemmed from me not dealing with my emotions, what I was feeling. It was just me hiding and pretending like I was okay, and in real reality I wasn't. So that was like one of the main reasons why it was hard for me to sit in front of the camera and show you guys how to create looks. I already knew the minute I would sit in front of the camera, I would get instant anxiety. I am my own editor. I am my own creative director. I am my own boss. I wear so many different hats that just the thought of sitting down and filming would give me so much stress. Me being the perfectionist that I am, if it's not perfect, I don't want to do it. That was like my mindset. It was so hard for me to do something, and if it wouldn't come out perfect the way that I envisioned it, it was trash. Even sitting here talking to you guys about this is a huge step for me, because I always told myself nobody needs to hear when I'm sad, when I want to cry, when I have anxiety. Nobody wants to hear those things. I don't ever want anyone to feel sorry for me for what I'm going through. I always say, like, I'm gonna get through it. I'm gonna be fine. All I gotta do is just keep going and keep going and keep going, like the Energizer Bunny. And then eventually I had a breakdown. So it was such a crazy time that I was forced to think about the moment, which I never do. I think about the future. I think about what I need to do next, what is gonna happen next. That was my mentality. I never really lived in the moment. My mind was in so many different places that I can hold up a conversation with you, but in my head I was always like, okay, Griselda, tomorrow you have to do this, tomorrow you have to do that, you have to take care of Anthony, you have to go do this, and you have to go take him to practice, and he needs to eat, and then I have to go take Jordan to the vet. And then it was just so many different things. When I actually had the time to sit down and really think about everything that I had to do, it really like put everything into perspective, because it made me feel everything that I had really just bottled up inside. And I would question myself every morning, like, Griselda, why are you so tired? Griselda, why can't you do this? Griselda, why this, why that? And it was always like a why question. And it wasn't easy for me to find a solution because I never had the time. And even during this, this is my third time trying to film this video and just like talk to you guys. Back then, I feel like I would have just gave up the first time. I would have said to myself, well, it's not meant for me to talk about this, so I'm just going to give up and not talk about it. Now I'm in a place in my life where I have more patience, and if you know me, I am the most impatient person, and this time has allowed me to be a little bit more patient with myself and not get as frustrated with myself, because it definitely is not easy having to process everything. Like, okay, what did I do wrong? Now let me fix that. Okay, let's move on to the next step. Back then I would have been like, well, fuck it, it's not meant for me to film this video. I'm not going to talk about it because that's the reason why my audio isn't working. This is the third time and I'm here and it's finally working. I had to like figure it out, but I didn't have that anxiety because I really did take the time to process everything that I was doing wrong. And back then I just wouldn't do that. It's 3:21. Let's go ahead and take this off. Oh man, my hair. Okay, my chin. I don't know, do you guys see a difference? So that is one of the main reasons why I have been off of YouTube. I remember when I filmed my Reiki video and I talked about me dealing with anxiety. Another thing that was really rough for me to do, and I had a lot of anxiety doing it, but I said, you know what, Griselda, just do it. And I did, and I felt so much better, but the process of it was what I was dreading. But then I come to realize that nothing is really easy in life. Everything that is worth doing is hard. It took me a really long time to really understand that. I remember vividly one of my friends, her name is Vanessa, she called me maybe like 2 or 3 days after I made my video live. She called me that day and she said, you would not believe 3 of my clients called me and told me that this whole time they thought that your life was perfect, that you didn't have any issues, that you were just happy. In real reality, I was like suffering inside, like deep down inside. And that really made me think, like, I wanted everything to always be so perfect that it never was perfect. And that was really hard for me to accept because I'm such a perfectionist. When it came to like, I want my photos to be perfect, I want my filming setup to be perfect, I want my lighting to be perfect, and if it wasn't any of those things, I didn't want to do it. And now I've come to realize that all you guys want from me is to put up content. You don't care if I have a colorful background, a modern background, a shitty background. You guys just want me to teach you what I am here to teach you. It took me a really long time to even realize that. And like today, I'm not satisfied with my lighting, but you know what? Nothing's gonna stop me from uploading this video, from doing this video, and I'm okay with that. Back then, the old Griselda would have been like, no, we're not gonna put out content that is not to my standards. I've come so far, like I'm just so past that that I'm okay with it. I feel like that's one of the biggest lessons for me, that I've really come to terms with myself, that not everything has to be perfect. As long as you do your best, that's all that matters. With that being said, I have been going through a lot in my personal life. You know, I just recently got my heart broken. Well, not recently, like a few months ago. Like, I dealt with something that I haven't dealt with in a really long time. I told myself I'm gonna be okay. It is what it is, and that's it. It affected me more than what I thought, and now I have to actually go through the feeling, the emotion, because I have nothing but time to think about it. I don't have any events to go to. I don't go to dinners. I don't go out. I have nothing but time to really sit here and really think about what happened. The person that I was, and I say was because I'm no longer like that. Okay, well, I got my heart broken. I'll get over it. You know, I always think about the future. I always think about like, okay, well, in 6 months I'll be fine. So I go about my daily routine as if it's already been 6 months from now. That was my resolution to being okay with whatever I was going through. That obviously isn't healthy. It was really, really hard for me to accept. I wanted to seem like Superwoman. Oh, my feelings never get hurt. Oh, I never have any issues. And that's not the reality of it. And it's not because I was trying to be this perfect person. It was just more so like, I don't like anybody feeling bad for me. The only people that knew what was going on is obviously like my closest friends. And even then it was like, I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna be fine. Like, don't worry about me. I'll be good. I'll be good. And it got to a point where I broke down for no reason. Nothing was happening. Well, I thought in my head nothing was happening. It was everything that I had bottled up inside. It was just time for it to all come out. That was when I realized that I had so much healing to do for myself. It was hard for me to understand that I wasn't okay, because in my head I was. And I was like, Griselda, you don't need healing. You've healed yourself. I kept trying to convince myself of that, and I wasn't. I had to deal with so many things that I have bottled up inside. I'm here now being able to talk about it. Like, this video would have never happened ever, because I felt like I didn't need to open up about anything. My platform is for beauty. Platform is to teach. That was my mentality. I never thought about how I'm able to just change someone's life by just opening up and expressing what I go through and how I deal with it and how I heal from it. Having a platform like this is so powerful, and now I'm able to understand that. You know, it was all in my head. Another thing that I wanted to change this year, but I guess that's not gonna happen. Every year I never do anything for my birthday. Not only because Anthony's birthday is like right after mine. I always put all the focus on him because it's his birthday, but I also don't like to celebrate myself. I never like to be the center of attention. This year I wanted to do something really big for my birthday. I'm about to be 35. Like, I still to this day can't believe 35 is like close to 40. I don't feel like I'm gonna be 35, but it's a big year to celebrate. And this year I was like, I'm gonna throw a big party and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then coronavirus happened. Like, really? Like, the one time I want to do something for my birthday, the coronavirus just wants to come and ruin everything. So that was another thing that I wanted to do differently, and then, you know, it happens. But I also am a very understanding person, and, you know, I'm not the only one that it affected, and there's always next year, and there's always 40, and I feel like it's time that I just need to celebrate myself. Dealing with this whole pandemic has been really, really hard. You know, especially having a teenager at home. I am a single parent. Trying to make him understand that he can't have a normal life has been really hard. At the same time, making it as normal as possible. I was thinking of filming of really cool activities to do during quarantine. So let me know in the comments down below if you want something like that on my channel, because I have some really cool ideas that we have been doing here as a family. It's really hard trying to keep a 13-year-old soon to be 14, living a normal life. It's not easy. Also, if you guys have some really cool activities that you guys have been doing with your kids, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm running out of ideas. So I also want to touch on how I was able to get to this point of being okay with a lot of things. You know, when you're going through something, you never really understand why you're going through it. And I think that that was one of the hardest things for me to do, because not only was I not dealing with my emotions and my feelings, I was also not understanding why I was going through whatever I was going through. One of my really good friends, he told me about this book at the most perfect time called The Four Agreements, and it couldn't have come at a better time. It has taught me so much about myself, about other people, about life. If you've read the book, let me know in the comments down below. I recommend that everyone reads that book. It is life-changing. I will put it in the description box so you guys can check it out, and it's only $6. It's just one of those things where, like, everything does happen for a reason. People come into your life for a reason. Things also happen at the right time. I was dealing with a lot of issues healing wise with myself, and he recommended that book at a perfect time. It really does change your way of looking at life, how you deal with things. Like I said, I was always in my head about, well, why this and why that, and I don't understand. And then I would put the blame on myself, and I'm like, what could I have done differently to prevent that from happening? You can't. I'm just in a different place in my life where I don't sweat the small things. If I haven't done any growing, like mentally, physically, and emotionally, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But I've done so much growing. So when this whole pandemic happened, I focused a lot of my time and energy on creating content for Instagram. It was a way of me just feeling normal. Makeup has always been my passion since I can remember. I'm actually coming to my 10th year anniversary of being a makeup artist, which is kind of mind-blowing. 10 years. I've been an influencer for 8 out of the 10, or you can say 7, maybe 7. It's between 7 and 8. And I'm just like, I've come such a long way. I've been able to do this on my own, and back in the day I would never really be proud of myself, if that makes sense. I was always like, I need to do more, I need to do more. And I now look back at my life and I'm like, I've accomplished so much. I was 25 when I told myself that I wanted to become a makeup artist, and I made it happen. Now I'm 35, or I'm about to be 35, and it's so crazy how far I've come, how much I've grown as a person. With that being said, I really hope that this video was something that you guys needed to hear, because it hasn't been easy sitting behind this camera and talking to you guys about what I have been dealing with inside. The way that my mind works is like I'm constantly fighting myself not to do something, you know. It's been like that for years. One thing that I always did was stop myself from crying, because I was like, mama didn't raise no bitch. That was my mentality. I was like, no, like, you're strong, you're not gonna cry, you're not gonna do this, you're not gonna do that. So I would stop myself. Now I am able to cry when I feel like I need to cry, and that's the beauty of it, because when I cry I feel so much better and I just release it. That is it, you know. It was also really hard for me to take care of myself when I was going through something, because one of the things that I feel like a lot of people struggle with whenever they're going through like a breakup or something tragic happened to them, you forget about yourself. Whenever your heart gets broken, all you want to do is lay in bed and cry and eat and just not take care of yourself physically and emotionally. For me, it's like when I was going through something, the way that I wouldn't take care of myself is I would go through my day, as gross as it sounds, I wouldn't want to shower, I wouldn't want to do my skincare routine, I wouldn't drink water, I wouldn't do the things that my body needed to continue to function. That was one of the things that I really had to take a step back and say, Griselda, your skin looks like shit. You're dehydrated. If you don't take care of yourself, you're always going to be tired. I started this green juice journey. Today was my 23rd day. Let me know if you guys want me to do like a in-depth video about my green juice where I show you guys how to make it and what the benefits are. Me doing the 30-day green juice was a way of me really taking care of myself from the inside, and I noticed such a huge difference in my way of thinking, the way that I feel, the amount of energy that I had, and it felt great even though I was still going through my personal things, and it kept me going because at the end of the day I was taking care of myself. It made the process so much easier. Once I was there, getting there was not easy because when you're in that mindset, you literally don't want to hear what anybody has to say. You don't want anybody telling you that you're going to be okay. You just feel like it's the end of the world. I've come to realize that you really have to want it for yourself at the end of the day, and it'll happen when you least expect it. A part of my healing process was finding forgiveness within myself. That was the hardest thing for me to do. I am not perfect. I've made my mistakes. Once I found forgiveness and once I forgave myself and come to terms that that's not who I am, that's not who I want to be, that's not who I am going to be, was life-changing. That was the start of my healing process. I like smile when I say that because it feels so good to be able to even say that out loud, because it wasn't easy getting there. But once you're there, whew, you feel like you're on cloud 9. One of my really good friends said something to me that really like stood out. At the time I didn't really understand what she meant by it. She said, if I don't let go of what's not meant to be in my life, I'm not making room for what is. And that really stood out to me because when I was going through my heartbreak, I really thought about it and I'm like, this is what she meant. This person is not supposed to be in my life, so they need to be removed for what is meant to be in my life. And it was so many powerful words put together that I now think about it and I'm like, I was blocking myself from finding happiness within myself, of course, because you can be happy with someone, but you have to make yourself happy. That's where everything needs to start. And when it all happened, it was like I fully understood what that statement meant. Also, one of the things that I feel like really helped me through this whole process was taking time for myself, because I would never be by myself. Like, I love to be by myself, but I also love to be around people. I really had to disconnect myself from some of my closest friends to really fully put everything in perspective. And that didn't mean that I didn't want to be friends with them or didn't want to talk to them. I'm so blessed to have such amazing friends that they understand that when I'm going through something, I have to process it now. And before, I never gave myself the opportunity. That now it just feels so different and I feel so great about it. I'm able to do so much. I am waking up every morning with a clear mind, and I have the ability to accomplish so much more that I was never able to do. It was so hard for me to even get one thing done because I was either mentally exhausted, physically exhausted, or in some type of pain. I mean, don't get me wrong, the pain hasn't left my body. I think I started from like my lower back to my shoulder blades to my shoulders. Now it's my neck. But that doesn't stop me. Like, I keep pushing and I keep going because I'm in such a different headspace. Also, not compare myself to other people. I think that that has also been the biggest lesson that I have taught myself with time, because nobody is like me and I'm not like anybody. That itself is so powerful, and I'm so grateful for every experience that I've had in my life, because without it I wouldn't be who I am today. That is hands down 100% true. I honestly wouldn't change it for the world, because I've learned to become so strong because of it. I feel like this video is about to be 100 hours long. I really hope that this video made sense, because the way that my brain works, it just is all over the place, and you guys get why I have been the way that I am and not being able to be more open with you guys on this platform. I wanted you guys to know that I do have my own struggles, things that I deal with, like getting my feelings hurt, second guessing myself, not being perfect. Struggling with those things have been really hard, and you know, to be able to talk about those things is even harder. I think this is definitely going to open up a different side of me that you guys haven't seen in my, I don't even know how long I've been here on YouTube. I think it's 3 years, 4 years maybe. It's taken me 4 years to actually sit here and talk to you guys about the reason why it's been so hard for me to film. But I really hope that this video gives you guys a better understanding where I'm coming from, and hopefully where I'm going with this. I'm not reading off of a script. I feel like the second time that I tried to film this was like almost perfect, and God was like, well, you're such a perfectionist. I think that I just need to throw you a curveball, because this video is not meant to be a perfect video. This is supposed to be something that is eye-opening. This really taught me that I didn't give up. I was able to just go through every single motion, feeling frustration, sadness, anger. I smiled through it all. That's something that I haven't been able to do, is actually go through every single emotion and not give up with what I was trying to accomplish. Whew. I'm really trying to hold these tears in, so I don't want to ruin my makeup. But my upper lip is sweating like always, and I sweat when I'm nervous. So I really hope that you guys understand me just a little bit more. Because it hasn't been easy, especially when you have to be strong for other people, not just yourself. I think that's why it's been so easy for me just to put myself on the back burner, but I'm no longer gonna do that. If you guys have anything that you guys want to talk about and that you guys are comfortable enough to leave in the comments down below, please do so. I love reading you guys' comments. I love every single one of you guys for supporting me through my journey, through my ups and my downs, and my every times I tell you guys I'm gonna film a video and then I don't, and now you guys know why. And I just appreciate every single one of you guys, because if it weren't for you guys, I would not be where I am today. So with that being said, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, this long ass video, and I will see you guys next time.